Comments made on the following paid commercial program are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time.
Welcome to the Money and Wealth Show. On the program this week, tax tips with David Ingram, money commercials, and our special guest, Byron King. It's all about money. At the HowStreet.com Money Expo in Kamloops and Kelowna, see Garth Turner, Michael Levy, Ross Clark, David Smith, and Doug Casey. To attend free, pre-register now at HOWEStreet.com or register at the door. Welcome to the Money and Wealth Show. I'm Sterling Fox, and on the program today we're going to talk energy with the capable assistance of Byron King. Mr. King is the energy analyst with Agora Financial and is also editor of Outstanding Investments. And Byron, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's good to be with you.
It's good to have you. And let's start at the biggest energy story of 2010, bar none, the BP disaster in the Gulf of Mexico. You said moments before we began shooting this program that this may not appear to have much impact right now, aside for the folks who've got oil on their beaches, but this is going to have long-term implications. Why and how?
Well, you need to separate, I think, the alarmist discussion of what's going on from what is the factual part of what's going to happen. There is a massive oil spill. Fortunately, as we speak today, the well is capped. It's under control. We hope that continues, but still we had 3 months worth of oil gushing into the Gulf.
Sure.
The oil that you see lapping up on the beaches now in the last few weeks or month or so, that's oil that's been floating around for a month, for 2 months. There's a lot of oil at sea. Now that's the bad news. The good news is that the oil is breaking up at sea. You're in that Gulf of Mexico climate where it bakes under the hot sun, things evaporate. The wave action breaks it up. There's biological action to break it up. There's oil dispersed all through the water column from 5,000 feet of sea level, or 5,000 feet at the seabed level all the way to the surface. What's going to happen over the long term? We don't know. We've got decades and decades of research to track this oil. It is having an impact in that sense. When you and I were talking, the alarmist side of the discussion is that, oh, this is going to destroy the Gulf, this is going to destroy the ocean, we're going to have a sea of oil, we'll have oil washing up on the beaches of England and Norway and Iceland. It's like, it's like, come on, I mean, they did get it under control, and we have a mess. It has a certain size, a certain volume. Now the issue is dealing with it. Either natural activities will clean things up, human activities will clean things up, or we're going to have a mess that's going to land on shore, and we're just going to have to deal with it.
Is the long-term impact, Byron, as much about loss of supply as it might be ongoing ecological damage?
Well, that gets into the entire drilling moratorium that the Obama administration rather hastily imposed in May. Initially, after the well blew out, yes, they issued a stop work order. They issued a safety inspection order to every rig in the Gulf to go back. What are you doing? Stop. Take a look at it. Do a safety stand down. That was a prudent thing to do.
Sure.
A very prudent thing to do in the case of this disaster. But over a month after the initial event, they issued a 6-month moratorium on drilling. They stopped drilling on 33 major deep water projects. Simply stop work in the middle of whatever you're doing. Finish it up to maybe a certain level of safety, but pull out the drill string, pull out the drill bit, and seal up the well. Well, right away, that's dangerous too. You're right in the middle of drilling a big well, and now all of a sudden you're going to stop. You're going to pull it out. You're going to take the rig away, and you're creating the potential for future disasters just by doing that,
Sure.
and not by allowing the wells to be completed. Now, these wells obviously were aimed at something. They were either exploration wells or they were, in some respects, development wells. That's oil supply that isn't going to be discovered or isn't going to come online. Now, you won't notice it in a month or 2 months or 3 months. You will probably notice that there is less oil discovered over the next 6 months because there's no drilling at all. within the next year, year and a half, 2 years, there will be a significant decrease in oil output in the Gulf of Mexico, which supplies 30% of the U.S. Domestic oil supply every day. And there's going to be less of it, which we have to make up somehow. I mean, we either have to import more oil, and I don't like importing more oil for a lot of different reasons. You can ask the American people to conserve, drive less, fly less, do less, etc. But
good luck.
Yeah, good luck with that. They could say, well, we'll replace the oil with something else. Well, with what? Well, we'll use natural gas. Now you're talking about switching entire, fuel systems.
Well, that's T. Boone Pickens' whole story, right? He wants to convert the transportation fleet of the United States to natural gas.
Well, and who knows, if we start tomorrow with a crash program, maybe in 15 or 20 years we'll do that.
Exactly.
But meanwhile, you're inviting all sorts of economic dislocations and disruptions by essentially promising the American people and their economy that there's going to be less petroleum going forward.
Let me clarify one thing. You said there are 33 deep water drilling operations currently in the Gulf of Mexico that are under this moratorium stop work order.
Right, and yes.
Does that also apply equally to shallower water drilling activity? Is it all shut down?
No, the shallow water is also shut down as well, and that's several hundred other rigs as well shut down. Now, the shallow water may come back online relatively soon, but the shallow water is not where all the big high productivity oil wells are. The big 20,000, 30,000, 100,000 barrel a day oil fields that we've been discovering in the Gulf of Mexico in recent years are pretty much in the deep water area. So that's the big oil. That's the oil that you run the economy on. The shallower wells, and many of those wells aren't really exploration wells. They're development wells. They're replacement wells. They're workover wells. You're cleaning out an old well. These are lower productivity type wells as opposed to the super wells in the deep water. Just because of the way the geology works, the super wells are where you get that big output over time. But you also have high decline rates on those wells. So they'll give you a lot of oil for a number of months or maybe the first year or so, and then the decline curve kicks in and they begin
it drops right back.
It drops right down, yeah.
Here in Canada, Chevron owns the deepest offshore deep water drilling rig in the world. It's off the east coast of Newfoundland as part of the Hibernia project. They're still a full go with that. And after this break, we'll find out what our guest Byron King thinks of the Canadian approach to deep water drilling here on the Money and Wealth Show. We'll be right back.
Good afternoon. My name's Larry Ray. I'm the President and CEO of American Manganese, Inc. I'm here to tell you today that American Manganese could possibly bring in the lowest cost electrolytic manganese metal mine in North America. It'll be the first one in the past few decades. What is manganese? Well, you can't have a steel industry without manganese. If you don't have manganese, you don't have steel. If you don't have steel, the world stops. North America has no manganese. We depend on our neighbors and other countries to import our manganese, and it just doesn't make any sense. We don't exploit the resources in our own country. So I'm here to tell you that we are moving ahead with the feasibility study, we're moving ahead with the environmental studies, and we're moving ahead with a massive drill program in order to build the American Manganese, Inc. into the first primary electrolytic manganese producer in the United States. Please visit our website at americanmanganese-inc.com or call us at 604-531-9639. Thank you.